Hey everyone, welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for this explainer. For the next few minutes, I want you to think of me as your personal IT mentor. Today, we're going to completely demystify Microsoft Entra ID security protocols. We are taking those abstract, honestly sometimes intimidating cloud security concepts, and we're breaking them down into highly structured, actionable steps. So whether you're auditing your own environment or just looking to seriously level up your administrative skills, you are in exactly the right place.
Okay, let's dive into this, because securing access without frustrating your users is literally the classic IT struggle, isn't it? On one hand, you absolutely need ironclad security to protect your organization's data. But on the other hand, well, if you make logging in too difficult, your users get locked out, productivity just grinds to a halt, and your help desk gets absolutely flooded with tickets. So today, we're going to look at how to perfectly balance that scale using modern identity management.
Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to hit self-service password reset, SSPR prerequisites and groups, third-party MFA with Duo, syncing those users, and finally, conditional access with named locations. Let's get straight to it.
Section 1. Self-service password reset. Right, so this is where we start empowering your users and, more importantly, saving your IT admins from drowning in a sea of password reset tickets. By definition, SSPR is exactly what it sounds like. It allows a user who has forgotten their password to independently verify their identity, usually via a text message, an authenticator app, or a phone call, and then reset their password entirely on their own. And why does this matter? It is massive. It completely removes the IT admin from the equation for one of the single most common help desk requests in the world. The user gets back to work immediately, and your IT team can focus on actual, complex infrastructure problems.
So the crucial point is, you cannot just assign SSPR to one or two random users individually. Actually, this is a really common interview trick question. An interviewer might ask you, hey, I have 10 users, and I want to enable SSPR for just one specific user account. How do I do it directly? The answer? You don't. No way. The Microsoft portal does not give you an option to assign SSPR directly to an individual. You absolutely must create a security group, place your targeted users inside that group, and then apply the SSPR policy to the group itself.
Which brings us neatly to Section 2, SSPR prerequisites and groups.
Before you just start clicking around the admin center, you really need to know the rules of the road. So many technical implementations fail simply because the administrator didn't verify the prerequisites first. So, before you can turn this feature on, you need to audit your environment against 3 rigid requirements. First up, your tenant must have a Microsoft Entra P2 license. Second, the user you're enabling this for must already have an active multi-factor authentication method set up. They need that MFA to securely prove who they are when they forget their password, right? And third, as we just talked about, the assignment must be handled via security group.
Now, if you're looking at that first requirement and kind of worrying about the cost of a P2 license, don't stress. Microsoft actually offers a full 30-day free trial for the Entra ID P2 license. That gives you a completely risk-free window to spin up a trial tenant, build your security groups, and test out this exact SSPR setup to see how the whole shebang flows before you ever spend a dime.
Moving right along to Section 3, third-party MFA with Duo.
In an ideal world, sure, maybe everyone just uses the Microsoft Authenticator app. But in the real world, you are going to encounter clients who have completely different requirements. I really love this quote from our source material. If a client requests not to use Microsoft services, you can go your own way by using third-party applications. It perfectly validates a standard reality in IT. Sometimes a client specifically requests not to use Microsoft services for their authentication layer. Maybe they have existing contracts, or maybe they just prefer a multi-vendor security approach. Mixing and matching security vendors is completely standard, and Entra ID is designed to accommodate this seamlessly.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is our chosen external platform for today, Duo Security. Owned by Cisco, Duo is a dedicated, highly respected platform for MFA. To use it, you just sign up for a dedicated Duo admin account, scan a QR code to secure your root admin account, and then prepare to bridge your Microsoft Cloud environment directly with Duo's external systems.
Section 4, syncing users to Duo. So let's look at how we actually build that bridge. But first, let's bust a major myth. A lot of admins just assume that bridging an external directory means you have to install complex synchronization software, like that legacy MS Connect tool. That is simply not true anymore. You do not need to install clunky, unnecessary external directory sync tools. The integration relies entirely on built-in, native cloud features between Duo and Microsoft.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because the actual syncing workflow is a beautifully straightforward 4-step process.
Inside your Duo admin panel, you just navigate over to External Directories. You select Add Microsoft Entra ID as your new connection. It'll then prompt you to sign in using your Microsoft Global Administrator credentials, which establishes the secure handshake. And finally, you just select that MFA security group we set up earlier and hit Sync. That's it. To really ground this abstract process into reality, our source material walked through this exact scenario using a test group. By syncing that group, the users Albert, Clark, Tata, and Telnet were instantly populated right into the Duo dashboard. Literally zero manual data entry required. And the best part? Anytime you add a new user to that Entra security group in the future, they're going to automatically sync over to Duo. It's efficient, it's automated, and it is incredibly clean.
Finally, we reach Section 5, Conditional Access, Named Locations.
We are shifting gears a bit here. We've empowered our users with SSPR, and we've secured their logins with Duo. Now we need to draw automated geographical security boundaries around our entire organization. A conditional access policy is essentially a collection of if-then access rules. Like, if a user tries to log in, then check these specific conditions before letting them through. While things like SIM-sync exist for complex application deployments, conditional access policies, and specifically named locations, give you immediate, highly effective geographical security. You can literally draw a digital fence around your approved working areas.
Let's anchor this with a very real scenario. Imagine your company is based in India, and you've set a named location policy restricting access to just that country. Now, a fully authorized employee travels to Dubai or the USA for a business trip. The second they open their laptop in that new country, their internet service provider, their ISP, changes. Even if they have the exact right laptop, the right password, and their Duo app ready to go, the conditional access policy is going to see that foreign ISP and automatically block their access. And this brilliantly illustrates the day-to-day power of an IT admin. To resolve this block, the traveling user contacts the IT team. The admin goes into the Azure backend, locates that named location policy, and temporarily allows the destination country, let's say Dubai. But here's the kicker. They don't leave it open forever. They set it for the exact duration of the trip, like the next 5 days. It is precise, it's temporary, and it's incredibly secure. Well, we have covered a tremendous amount of ground today, from self-service resets to third-party integrations and geographical boundaries. So I want to leave you with this question to chew on. How will you implement these conditional access rules in your own environment right now? Think about the digital fences you need to build today, because mastering these policies is the absolutely perfect stepping stone before we dive into the complexities of role-based access control, or RBAC, in our next learning journey. Until then, keep experimenting, keep building, and stay secure.